I do want to talk about how you can grow your business with AI powered tools by Google. So, how can Google AI make your business more productive and resources? So, what to really understand about me is that I, especially when I'm training for Google, I stay specifically within the Google ecosystem. And this is why I didn't grow up in a cubicle. I grew up in a business incubator. I have run my business for several decades. I understand what it's like to take care of everything butcher, baker, candlestick maker, and now having to do this, as well as still making sure your clients are as happy and listened to as possible. So, because of that, because I have to do that, I like to make sure that we stay very, very slim. We don't have a million subscriptions going on because I don't need to spend $200 on a million subscriptions unless I am just making so much money that I'm okay just throwing money around. I need every dollar to be able to make an impact into the growth of my business. And so, because I hold myself to that, I bring that accountability and that focus to each of you. So that's really what's important when we look at AI. There are so many distractions out there, right? We see that. Oh my gosh, we're all on our phones. Everybody's there. Nobody talks to each other in dinner. We're all utilizing our different tools. And we do see that businesses are already using AI for positive outcomes, but a lot of them are doing it very dangerously and haphazardly. And we want to avoid that because we don't need the leaks. The time sucks that so much AI experimentation can bring. So these are some of the terms. Now, this is in your handout, and people, just so that you know, I don't read slides to everybody. So I'll put it up there for a second, but you also have that downloadable for you again right here at this link I've dropped in the chat so you can look at it yourself and follow along. But I like to dive deep into practical use and to demonstrating how that's used. So some people are already using it for voice assistance. Some are using it for recommendations. You'll see that on YouTube. YouTube is getting a big upgrade, everybody, a big AI upgrade. So that's coming. And then also chatbots. But AI is much, much more than chatbots. All right. So let's take that deep dive into how businesses have used it. For example, Cece Meadows, she has used it actually to help her in being able to think about ideas and to also prevent failures and wastes of time within her business, because especially when you're the person driving things in your business, a time waster can be exponentially a real problem for you to be able to move anything forward and growing. And if you are trying to break through the gravity of startup, AI can help you get that velocity to break through it. But you don't want to spend on that velocity too much. You want to use practical tools. So that's why, as I said, I stay either within the free personal Google account or free Gmail account. So I stay on the free versions of that. And I also work in Workspace because I do have my business, smartbrandsystem.com, has an email address that's branded because I do believe in the importance of branding in consistency and trust building and authority building. And so I've had a branded email for quite a few decades. And so I use all the tools and max that out. A lot of people just use it for email, but I know there's much more when you have a branded email. So let's talk about how Cece used it, right? So she used it to manage her Google business profile. She used it for ideas and to manage her Google business profile. Now, when I say use it for ideas, I'll show you that in a moment. I'm waiting on that because that's her primary use, that she used it for ideas and to make sure she's avoiding any pitfalls, major revenue sucking pitfalls in her business. But she used it for this too. So I'm going to show you this first, and then I'll come back to the other because we have to talk a little bit about prompt structure, which, if you're not familiar with that, prompt structure is the directions that you give AI. And I'm very much of the school of thought, garbage in, garbage out. So what you ask is so important. And a lot of people give away their expertise by just leaning into whatever AI can deliver to them. And that is a mistake. That is when AI will take your job and your business. All right, so let's step here a moment. Anatomy of a Google business profile. If you are not aware, a Google business profile is the number one place that AI looks for answers when it is coming up with its recommendations and its answers in its platform, or if you see that even within search with AI overviews and AI mode. Your Google business profile is the number one place. Now, do not believe the myth that if you're virtual, you can't have one. I've been virtual. I have 375 five-star reviews on my Google business profile, and I've been virtual all the time. And you can use AI to write that description. So absolutely built into your Google business profile is the ability to use AI. Now, I am a big fan of using the system known as AI, but I am not a big fan, as you heard me a moment ago say, of letting AI take the lead and be the leader, because it is never AI led. It is always human led and the human in charge. That's where you bring your uniqueness, your value as a business, your value as a person that AI cannot mimic, because it doesn't have your passion. It doesn't have your drive. It doesn't have your unique experiences. It also gives you the opportunity, if you're a restaurant, to write the menu for you too, if you just upload a quick snap, a quick picture of your actual menu. So it does that. So it can create that digital menu, but you can see how it walks through how it actually creates a menu. So you upload the photo and it'll generate it from there. It'll scan it. But what would I say? Needs to be human led. Don't just let it out there. You don't want your mozzarella sticks to be going out for 47 cents instead of $4.75, because you're going to be a great business person. You're going to honor the price, but you're going to lose your shirt, especially if everybody figures out, oh my gosh, they've got 47 cents mozzarella sticks and it was just AI misreading where that decimal point is. That's a lot. That's a big mistake. That little mistake that AI made becomes a very expensive mistake for us. So you want to be the human that looks at things. Anytime we do things like this, we need to be doing the quality assurance, double checking anytime we put anything out to the public, because once it leaves us and it's out in the public, we can't draw it back. So we need to double check that. That's why you're the human in charge. Anytime you transition from one AI tool to another, let's say you're using Gemini and you're then using Zapier or Make or NAN to connect to another AI, you don't want to be the one who actually allowed garbage in and garbage out. There's way too much of that happening, which is why you hear so much AI failing out when it's actually supposed to be implemented, because people are not being the humans in charge. All right.